It's Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Today was Friday, December 1st, 2017. I am waiting for my funded account that is supposed to be active come Monday, December 4th. Now, with that being said, I don't know if I will have it up and running on December 4th, having to, in the past, you get a brand new um, anyway. I have to fix the depth of market. That is what I usually have to do when I get the new account. So if I get it on Sunday night, then I'll have the opportunity to fix the depth of market window, and then keep the my charts the way that I like to see them on what they allow you with the practice account. So another time that I remember, they put the real account inside of the practice account too. So I just don't remember, to be honest with you, how it works at this point. So if I get access on it on Sunday, being December 3rd, I should be able to get it set up. If it doesn't come until later in the morning on the 4th, then I will bypass the 4th and then start Tuesday the 5th. So that's kind of the plan right now. Today I didn't trade, obviously, and I'm not going to give any commentary, trader success, about what I woulda, shoulda, coulda do. You know, never mind. Anyway, so Matthew 23:12 is my answer to you. So get out your Bible and take a look. Anyway, I don't know if I'd have been successful that day or not. I think I would have been. Gary, going with my past performance and how I take a trade. Today, I've determined another signal. I call it, I've seen this before, when you get a bar that's plus 5,000 or greater, um, one single bar that kicks that much volume. And you can see why it did it. It hit that $58 a barrel again, and it just filled a bunch of sell stop orders. People that said, this is my limit, I don't want, and on the other side, it filled a lot of buy stop orders that, market, that people that said, if it gets here, I want in. So there was a combination of the two of them, and that drove the momentum. At least that's how I view what happened there. There was a lot of fighting at the $58 a barrel mark. We know that. I even talked about it, what, 2, 3 weeks ago, when I was talking about 58 before 50, or 52 before 58. I was wrong as it relates to that, but on the other side of that, my swing trade made money. So, to understand that you have to trade inside the moment and not worry about the long-term effects of the market itself. I guess that's the way that I would tell you need to handle. You got to be willing to change your opinion on just a snap of a finger too, especially as a day trader. You can't get married to a position. I know personally, I'm a better short trader than long trader. Would I have caught this long today, or would I have been trying to fade into this long signal? I don't know. And why, when the market hit 58.88, that was the high at that point in time, and the market started to go down, went down with 50, 60 ticks from that point. And then I don't know. It's trading roughly, where are we at right now? We're at 58.31 according to my charts, if they're correct. 58.32. Yeah, 58. We're at roughly 58.32 at just before 12 o'clock noon Central Standard Time. So here's the point. To sum up what I want to talk about today, the point is, you just don't know how you're going to trade unless you're in for real. And I'll agree with you on that. It's the way it is. Although I know that volume will help determine when I want to get active in the market. I don't want to be involved in a dead market if you look at the 805 mark, that was a lot of volume kicked in, a lot of space, wide, deep and wide, deep and wide, or how, yeah, deep and wide, deep and wide. I mean, it was a good signal. There was a If I would have waited on the 808, 805 and then went long above that, I believe that was a decent trade if you waited out the 5 minutes and then carried it out. And if you're lucky enough to be able to carry it up to 58.88 or close to it when it came back down, it could have been a decent trade. I don't know how much it would have been worth, but when I was looking at it, I looked back and thought, well, 58.05 might have been a good mark, but who knows if I would have been able to get in there. I mean, I think I could have got in because there was 5, 6 bars that got printed on the timestamps right there. Boom, 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 boom. Now, granted, it would have been quick, and I wasn't there at the time. That's 8 to 801 mark. You'd have to be Johnny on the spot to be able to see it. So recognize that the bar came in, to be able to be smart enough to get into the trade and then carry it forward. Who knows? I mean, no one knows how you're going to operate until you're in the moment at that point. So, um, but it's a good learning experience to be able to see stuff like that and then think about and ponder how you're going to handle that when you see it in the future. So what I've called this particular bar that's 5,000 or greater, I call it the WTF bar now. So that's what I want to leave you with, and I hope that you have a great Friday and a good weekend. And that's about it. I don't really have much to talk about. Just hanging out here at home, doing some research, doing some studying, preparing for the funded account to do something with it this time, to stay in it and to be able to grow. My first overall goal, if you want to know my goal, is to get the account to 2,500 positive balance. That's the amount that I believe if I can get to that amount, I can withstand a good amount of drawdown in my account and still keep building it up. And then once I get that 2,500, I'll go from there to I hope to 5,000, and at that point, probably if I get to the 5,000, not if, do or do not, there is no try. When I get to the 5,000, that would most likely be where I would look at my first withdrawal on the account, taking half of a half away, or $1,250 once I would cross the 5,000 mark. So that's kind of my thinking at this point in time. And then I'd start at 37.50 on stab 2. Those that are following me, starting account balance. So starting trading account balance, I call it stab, the Jesse Livermore money market strategy or money market strategy that I use. So that's kind of my plan at this point. I don't have a 6-month plan. I want to stay funded and I want to keep growing the account. If I could tell you what I'd like to have in 6 months, I'd like to have my own futures account outside of TopStep Trader, so actually be able to open up with my broker that I've selected to go and open up with him and not get an 80-20 cut at that point. So I also want to keep my TopStep Trader account open, and I want to grow it. But I want to have an account that's doesn't get taken a cut from me either. So that's what it is. But I'd like to be able to take this account and see what I can do with it. That's the goal. I mean, that's the goal of any trader that's ever traded, to take an account. And this time, I mean, you're taking it roughly, you take it from zero with at least the $30,000 rules that you have. You have a $1,500 drawdown, 1,500 drawdown, and you have once you get up over 1501, it doesn't increase to $1. It stays at zero. So the highest I've ever got my trading account balance, I believe, was about $1,300 positive on one of my funded accounts. And then I experienced 3 days of losing in a row, and then I cashed out. So I would like to be able to stay away from those days. And I know that when I look back at those days that I had, 3 losing days in a row, if I would have taken roughly, say, 30 ticks instead of growing at 45 ticks, that would have given me an extra day of trading right there. 150 by 3, you know, you can figure out that's $450, you know. So just to be able to take less on your losing days, that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish this time around. So as I think about the funded account right now, honestly, I'm okay with the winning days. I know I'll handle the winning days properly. It's the losing days that I've got to manage a lot better. So that's kind of it right now. I've got to be able to manage my losing days and stop the bleeding as quickly as I can possibly can. And that's why I'm trying to limit myself, not try, do or do not. There is no try. I keep reminding myself of that over and over again. When I hit 3 trades in a day and there are 3 losers in a row, I'm done. Boom. Or 3 trades in a day, 1 win, 2 losses. It doesn't matter. I want to be 3 trades and be done on the day. There's not much good, I would say, that happens after 5 trades. There's not much good that happens after 3 trades with me either. So historically, I'll lose 85% of 80 to 85% of those trading days that I go over 3 trades. It is what it is right now. You look back at that one day that you turn it around and you make, you know, positive account balance, but then you have the others that you lose 40, 45 ticks instead of losing, say, 32, 33, or even up to, say, 40 ticks. You know, that extra trade is just stupid in a lot of times, because at TopStep Trader you just don't have enough room sometimes to put on an additional trade because you're up against max daily loss. So that's something that you have to plan for. And what I'm trying to figure out is how far can I have the R, the risk component, away and still work within the rules. So for instance, if I had 3 trades at 15 tick stop loss, that puts me at 45 ticks plus commission costs. I'm really on top of where max daily loss is at that point. So with the commission cost and the 450, and if you have any slippage in there, you'd be really on top of your max daily loss. So there's not a lot of room. You know, I like to say that I'd go with 20 ticks at 1R, but 20 by 3 is 60. You fail, at least in the 30K combine, you fail. I mean, 30K funded account, you fail because you get above $500. Would I look at the 50K combine in the future and go that way? It's the best. It's the second best account to work with. I would prefer to stay in the 30K and work that. So you know, the other side is that is you have to get the $3,000 gain, and then you have a $2,000 loss with a $1,000 weekly loss that you can lose in a week. So there's some good and bad about all of it, right? I prefer the 30K account. Well, it's less money, obviously. That's one of the determining factors, and um, you know, and it's the only one that's got dollar for dollar 1,500 to 1,500. So all the others you got to make more to move on. And it's not just that, you have to do the same thing in the FTP as well. So there is no, back in the day when it kind of made it a little bit more sense was when you would go into FTP and they gave you half of a target. So for instance, if you only had to get, you know, first time in combine you had to get $3,000 gain, and then they would give you your FTP account and you'd only have to get 1,500. Well, then it made a little bit more sense to go and do it that way. Then you can move in. On a side note, I did see an email from TopStep Trader said there was $39,000 of withdrawals inside the funded account. So, you know, when people ask me, you know, I get a question, I would say at least once a week right now about, is this a scam? Is TopStep Trader a scam? You guys, they've been in business now for what, 7, 8 years? I mean, don't you think if it was a scam, the FTC would have shut them down a long time ago and the CFTC would have boarded down their doors? You know, they just got a really good business plan, and they cater to those of us that don't trust ourselves with the futures account more than anything, because we know, if you've been around long enough, how easy it is to lose thousands upon thousands of dollars in any given day if you don't have the discipline to stay with um, your trading plan. So for a lot of us, it makes a lot of sense to stay, at least the ones that I talk to, um, makes a lot of sense to stay with TopStep Trader. So if this is where I want to be, you know, and I've looked at others and they still have the best game in town. Will they always have the best game in town? Who knows? You know, who knows what is going to happen tomorrow? But what I can tell you right now is I like the company. I like the people that are there. And for the most part, it is a well-run machine, and um, they're good. You know, I mean, they've listened to some of my suggestions and incorporated some, and they've, you know, discarded others. But that's the business model that they got. They can determine, you know, in the end, what is it? It's their gold, not our gold. It's their gold, and you have to follow their rules. And in the end, that's what makes the sense, and the dollars in the cents, right? You either follow their rules or you don't. If you don't want to follow their rules, then, you know, go your own way and on your own merry way, and you don't have to watch my channel. You can unsubscribe at any point in time. I'm not going to offend me. Um, uh, but anyway, I will leave you with Matthew 23:12, which I opened up my email today, and that says, "Those who humble themselves will be exalted." I'm trying to stay humble, guys. I really am. I know that I'm excited, I'm upbeat, I'm ready to go, I'm chomping at the bit, but I want to stay humble. I want to stay grounded, as I know is when I stay in that humble, grounded area, I do my best trading. So you got to stay there, right? Stay in the moment, stay inside yourself and understand what your limitations are. I obviously know that I'm a better short trader than I am a long trader. I'm working diligently to try to be a better long side trader, but you know, it's going to take time to develop that skill set to be able to be uh, good at both sides of the market. I was good at one side of the market and bad on the other, and now I've reversed that. Now I'm good on the opposite side that I used to be bad on, and I'm not so good on the other. I'm getting better at the long side, but it's going to take time to develop the skills that I need to be able to see um, and be able to take the long side setups that are coming in the market, in the crude oil market. That's just the way it is. And each one of us has our own demons that we face. There's not a trader alive that doesn't have a demon that just you all of us. We all have our faults. We all have our shortcomings, and anyone who says they don't is full of shit. And you know that, and I know that. And it is what it is at this point. So, you know, anybody that would say, once again, if you claim to be a master trader, it better not be coming from your own fucking mouth, all right? It better be coming from someone else that says that you are, because that's not a humble status to keep yourself in trading. And when you exalt yourself, I can tell you one thing, and if you do exalt yourself and you let that code go to your head, I can tell you that bad things come of that when it relates to trading. And I dare you to prove me wrong when it comes to that stuff, right? God bless. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.